Greetings, denizens of the internet. You can call me Nitro Indigo, and welcome to part 3 of my Monster Sanctuary stream series. It's been a while since I've done one of these because, well, for 2 Sundays in a row I've been busy, but... Oh wait, no, I'm not actually... Okay, I wasn't sure if this was actually streaming, but it is, so that's good. Backset isn't here right now. They said they might join late, but I hope someone's watching this. And in the last episode we went through Blue Caves, and in this session, not episode, I'm hoping to we're going to have our first keeper duel. Anyway, without further ado, let's dig in. Oh gosh, I haven't done a gameplay with live commentary thing for a long time, and it feels kind of weird. Like, that's the reason I usually have co-commentators on my live streams, because it just feels awkward talking to myself. But I see I've got one viewer. That's more than nothing. And I wonder who this, like, sometimes I get viewers with no, actual, comments or anything, and I wonder if they're from someone who's not logged in. Or maybe they're just shy, who knows. You know, you're now passing through the dual circle, yes? Actually, before we do this, I'm going to change up my team a little, because I prefer to have 2 monsters with, fire attacks, so, I think Rad will go, to be honest, because, honestly, I don't really, actually, no. Maybe Mint Aero, actually. Because now see. Unfortunately, we don't have, the balance where we have a monster that uses every element of attack. And, yeah, unless I use just a monk. Because I forgot what the names I gave these. Actually, maybe I should get some equipment first. In other news, over the past month I've been playing Fae Farm a lot, which is basically kind of like Rune Factory, apparently. I've never played Rune Factory, but it's a farming game with RPG elements. And it's very pretty. But I really just want lots of monsters with fire attacks, because the Will's star player is Spectral Toad, which is weak to fire. Backset will show up soon. Let's see. The Keeper Duel trainer said that he wants to talk to you first for some reason. I'm a little bit anxious, but I think we'll be fine. I've got to admit, I read up on the rules for Keeper Duels beforehand just to be safe. Well done! You've beaten enough champion monsters to qualify for Keeper Duel training. This training will complete your initiation as a Keeper Novice. It's a step every fledgling Monster Keeper takes at some point. Technically, Will hasn't beaten enough champion monsters yet for this training. However, we've decided to make an exception in this case for 2 reasons. For one, we need at least 2 aspiring keepers for this training. So you'd have to wait for Will or another new keeper to beat enough champion monsters. But even more importantly, we feared that it might take a long time for Will to achieve that. Ooh, savage. His parents say he's always got his head in the clouds, and he's just not the type to go adventuring and monster fighting. However, he's a very smart and talented young man. We hope that this training will give him a confidence boost by showing him what his monsters are capable of. But I'm not telling you to hold back on him. Feel free to use this opportunity to test your own skills too. Well, joke's on you, because in a lot of my playthroughs I've lost to this battle, but don't worry, the story will still progress if you lose. Alright, Will, come over here. I'll explain the rules of keeper dueling to the both of you now. I am Keeper Duel Trainer Gothelm, and it is my task to teach young keepers about the rules of keeper dueling. For 1,000 years or more, humans have settled their disputes by letting their beasts fight against each other. Excuse me, they're called monsters. However, only when the Monster Sanctuary was created, the first monster keepers established a fixed set of rules for this kind of duel. Firstly, neither keeper nor monster is to be seriously injured during a keeper duel. That should be a given to the both of you anyway, but it is customary for me to repeat this rule. In a keeper duel, each keeper uses their full team of 6 monsters, but as always, a keeper may not use more than 3 monsters at once. If a monster gets knocked out, its keeper may switch in one of their other monsters from their team. The turn order in a keeper duel is determined by chance, except it isn't. The keeper who has the first turn may only use 2 of their 3 chosen monsters during their first turn as a drawback. In single player battles against the AI, or play versus enemy as all the cool kids call it these days, you always go first, which means you always have the drawback. The keeper who has the second turn can use all of their 3 active monsters. The battle proceeds normally from that point on. Once either keeper has managed to knock out their opponent's team of 6 monsters, they have won the fight. That concludes the theoretical part of this training. Next, you two will face off against each other so that I may see whether you have truly understood the rules, and I heard a Discord sound.
Hello!
Hi, Backset. So, you haven't missed much, just basically, I've been going around the Keeper Stronghold to just prepare my team, and we're about to have our first Keeper duel.
Alright.
So, let's get in then. Are you ready for a Keeper duel, or would you like to hear the rules one more time? I'm ready. I think I'm ready too. Let's show them what we're made of. Alright then, young keepers, one of you has to challenge the other to a Keeper duel. Alright. Dreamed to go of the spectral wolf bloodline. It's called the Veilless bloodline. I don't know. I keep noticing all these weird text quirks and stuff I've never noticed before, and I think it's because I have to actually read the text out. I challenge you to this Keeper duel.
Yeah, you'll notice when you read things out, you notice more you notice more like weird typing stuff. I recommend, it's like, this is like slightly off topic, but like if you read your stuff out loud and when proofreading.
Okay. It's weird because like sometimes when I write things I worry that my sentence structure is a bit stilted, and also while you were talking I noticed that most of my team was weak to earth. I probably should have thought that through, but let's see what
I hate it when that happens.
Let's see, I think all channels good, because especially in the early game when you don't have much mana. Also, the music here absolutely slaps, and I'd like to be quiet once my favourite part comes in, so we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet, though. I can't talk all of a sudden. Here it comes.
Yeah, you're gonna need to. Okay.
Okay, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna say you're gonna have to tell me because I have to have the video muted, but you told me so.
Okay, this feels a bit like a war of attrition because my attacks aren't dealing much damage, and I've let the magma pillar rack up a shield, which is not good. And we've got our first knockout in the battle. See what I mean? That I'm not very good at this. And a lot of keeper jewels are quite hard in this game. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, no, sorry, I was reading something. I got distracted. My brain do be like that sometimes.
I get distracted a lot too. Do you ever just sometimes forget something you've just done? Like, you know, you've just done something but can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like, just the other day, I couldn't remember if I'd locked the front door or not. Like, I knew it was someone unlocked, someone turned out, I knew it was unlocked, but I couldn't remember if I did that, or if it was already unlocked.
Yeah, God. I do that all the time. Like, oh God, did I remember to lock the door? And like, usually it's, yes, I did remember to lock the door, but...
I also think I'm probably going to lose this battle, to be honest, because I've already lost half my team.
Yeah, it was less of a problem back when I lived on campus because the doors locked automatically. So instead, I locked myself out a lot. Forgot my card.
Oh yeah, I sometimes forgot to take my lanyard to school, and they're required to like get into the open certain doors, and that's how it happened in college
Yeah.
as well. And we're already in the infinity mode, which basically means monsters will deal more damage, which stops battles from going on too long. And earlier I said that if the story still progressed if you lost this battle, and I've been skipping over the dialogue, so wow, I can't believe I actually won. And against Indigo too, even though she beat the Minotaur. I guess I just had the better strategy. Don't worry, kid, we'll get stronger and we'll beat them another time. Right, so is the wolf talking to me or Will? I don't know. Alright then, you have completed Keeper Jill training. You may now proceed to the other areas of the sanctuary and challenge other monster keepers you encounter. Fighting other monster keepers lets you gain experience points, and each keeper also has a different item reward in store for you if you beat them. Do they? I don't remember. I will head to the Stronghold Dungeon now. We've got to find this history box. I hope you'll be there too, Stream to go. I hope this has helped him to get braver. Either way, you should keep an eye on him. Strange things are going on in the sanctuary nowadays. The number of champion monsters is completely abnormal. By the way, I offer Keeper Duel challenges to you if you wish to test your skills against me. I think I might reconfigure my team again, because to be honest, I'm not really using Mint Arrow that much, and he kind of sucks at living, so maybe I'll replace him with the Frosty.
It sucks. God. Mood.
I swear
I'm sorry, I shouldn't do self-deprecating humor on
I
here.
must have heard the phrase sucks at living in a YouTube video a long time ago, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, somebody definitely said that at some point.
Maybe it was some like 2008 meme, I don't know, I've slept since then.
Good. Yeah, that would be a 2008 meme. God, or like early 2010s.
Or like troll faces. Now there's multiple directions we can go in, but I prefer to do this stream series in the order which I think the game wants you to do these things. So we're going to head to the Stronghold Dungeon now, which is right underneath our house, which isn't really a house, it's more like a single room because shared lodging, I guess. It reminds me of when I had to go to this church weekend away, which was built into a boarding school that had the world's most confusing layout, and I didn't really like it there. Halt! This path leads to the eastern parts of the sanctuary, the Stronghold Dungeon, and the Ancient Woods. You have beaten enough champion monsters to ascend to the rank of Keeper Novice, and you completed the Keeper Jill training. You've tested your mettle against monster and keeper alike, and are therefore ready to face the Stronghold Dungeon in the Ancient Woods. You may proceed now. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of how in The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, there's one person who there's this guard who won't let you leave Hyrule Town or whatever it's called until you've gotten the spin attack, but that's like the only plot-based roadblock in the game. All the others are like you need a certain item, and as I said, I like that progression more, but it's been a long time since I played the Minish Cap. Anyway, we've got some lore here. This is the Horny Jail. Still, and we can also loot the prison because there's some items here. Let's see if we can get grapes. Also, it kind of throws me off that in this game, jump and interact
grapes.
with different buttons. Usually they're not.
Yeah. The stream's much more caught up this time. I probably just jinxed myself by saying that, but like,
that's because I put it on low
actually-
latency.
cool. Also, sorry if you've been hearing me make clicking noises with my tongue. I just kind of do that sometimes.
You do that sometimes too, and it's an actual like considered a part of a word sound in certain languages, mainly from Africa, I think. I want to say Zosha is one of them, but I don't actually know that much about Zosha. So I think that's from.
Yeah, I wonder if it counts as a vocal stem. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Oh, we've got two guys.
Like, because I'm not actually saying anything. But it's a stem of some sort.
Also, I used Rummy a lot in my first playthrough of this game, so. And there's also the Crackle Knights, which kind of looks like Shovel Knights, or really just any kind of generic medieval knight. So.
They should have shovels, I think.
I've never played Shovel Knight. All I know is it was in Smash Bros.
I played a bit of Shovel Knight, but I can't really play a lot of harder platformers.
Oh yeah, I don't really.
So I kind of gave up.
Where the main point is being hard either.
Yeah, like I quit Hollow Knight
Especially
when I played it.
Kind of reminds you of when you're a kid and you just think that every game is the hardest game ever.
It's like I respect it. I understand. I'm not like I think people are like weird when they're like, oh yeah, Dark Souls should have an easy mode. Like, no, that's not the point of the game. But like, I'm not gonna play it.
Also, I need a witty nickname for this Crackle Knight.
Name it Shovel Knight, since we were just talking about that.
Honestly, the name kind of makes me think of Cocoa Pops. No, not Cocoa Pops. Rice Krispies.
Oh man, Rice Krispies are one of the greatest inventions of mankind.
Yeah.
Like Kellogg's popped off with that.
No, I haven't
You
had
take your already good cereal and put it into a ingot.
Yeah. I haven't actually had Rice Krispies in years. I usually eat chocolate flavoured cereal.
Yeah, neither have I.
Because I'm secretly a child without my like chocolate. Hey, Strindigo.
Yeah,
I knew I heard some footsteps behind me. I'm still giving her this American accent. Looks like you're a keeper novice now. Great. But you do realise that being a monster keeper also means you've got some responsibility to take care of the sanctuary and all the monsters, right? Oh, I bet everybody's already told you that. They always put the fate of the whole sanctuary on our shoulders, since we're the spectral keepers. Anyway, if you've got time, you should come to the ancient woods, but we're not going to do that just yet. The goblin tribes have been getting rowdy, and there's rumours of a new goblin king who's rallying the tribes. It's been almost 100 years since the last time that happened. It was my great-grandmother who beat the Goblin King back then. So I want to see if I can live up to her legacy and boost my rank to save the sanctuary in the process. Can't hurt to have another spectral... this voice is hard for me to do. Spectral keeper around to cleave a path through the bands of goblins. I almost thought she said the bands of time. So that's where I'm going. It's just east from here and through some more rooms of the Stronghold Dungeon. See you! But
I love how they put the role of stopping an entire war on like 2 people.
Welcome to RPGs, where the fate of the world rests with some teenagers. Or tweenagers if it's Pokemon, I guess.
Sometimes Pokemon is teenagers. The protagonists of Black and White and X and Y are canonically a little older than standard.
Wes from XD? No, not XD, Colosseum. They have such weird titles like...
I have a very unique relationship with Colosseum.
Oh yeah, I sold my copy ages ago because I got taking ages for me to play through it and I just wasn't enjoying it. And speaking of which, I've had Paper Mario the 1000 Year Door for years, haha. And I still haven't gotten around to beating it, and I promised myself I'd do that before the remake came out, and I haven't touched it for months. Procrastination!
I mean, that's... Gotta love procrastination. Maybe I should have streamed that instead. Then you would get it done because you have to.
Maybe, but I'd have to then connect the Elgato to my Wii, and I can't be bothered.
Yeah, God, that's... I can imagine that's frustrating.
I used to stream, which did not stream. I used to record video games with an Elgato back in the day. But I've also since deleted the software for it off my computer because I didn't think I'd need it anymore when I stopped doing Let's Plays.
I would love to stream and do Let's Plays for like Switch games, but I have a Switch Lite, so that won't connect.
I've never docked my Switch, and also I don't know if there's like if the current version of Elgato works with Switches anyway. Version of Elgato that I have, not the current version.
Yeah, I have no idea anything about that kind of stuff.
And that's always
Good.
quite bad.
Used to want to do it so bad back in the day.
I'm just going to check my options.
Yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I remember I used to daydream about being a Let's Player, and I was thinking about imagining myself doing Spirit Tracks, but I don't think I want to now, unless maybe if I get like a group of people and a way to record me that actually it's not on Wii U Virtual Console, because A, I don't have it on the eShop because I don't like playing DS games on Wii U Virtual Console. B, the eShop's defunct now, and I don't know if they do PAL versions of like 3DS. Like, if I don't know if you can get DS capture cards outside of America anymore, because
Yeah, for me it was Minecraft. I was big into Minecraft YouTubers back in the day because I was 12.
And I was obsessed.
Actually, I think
with Train Zelda when I was.
by the
10,
time I got
and now I'm obsessed with the.
by the time I got around to that, it was considered cringe, even if you were 12.
I mean, Minecraft is still popular. They still make merchandise of it.
Yeah, Minecraft is still popular. I like to play Minecraft.
Yeah. I was obsessed with.
No,
Like,
I like to play video games.
I was trying to say I was obsessed with Train Zelda when I was like 10, and nowadays I'm obsessed with the funny talking train show instead because I have so much cringe that I can exchange it for a coupon at WH Smith and buy a packet of crisps with it or something. If you don't know,
I mean, it's train autism.
If you don't know, WH Smith is a stationery shop in the UK that now just sells a lot of things like sweets, magazines, books, DVDs. Like most supermarkets.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. Who the heck is buying stationery in this day and age?
CDs. I think I've seen some Doctor Who audio plays there, so that's interesting.
I miss CDs. Physical media is. I wish physical media wasn't going out of fashion.
I still get CDs. I mainly listen to them in the car, but I have them.
Yeah, I don't. I mostly use like iTunes, but it's fine.
And I've got a bunch of I've got Elemental on Blu-ray, even though we have Disney Plus at my house because it had some bonus features and I'm not sure if those are on Disney Plus, and B, I just like having a physical copy just in case our subscription runs out or they decide to cancel Disney Plus or something, or the internet goes out.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I don't really buy physical media unless I really want the thing.
Yeah, neither do I.
I guess the exception is games, because I just prefer physical media for games, unless it would be easier to get it on eShop.
I usually get,
if it's on sale on eShop, I am getting it on eShop.
Most of my Switch games are physical, but if it has a physical version of a Switch game, then I own the physical version because because I like having more free storage space.
Yeah, fully understandable.
So like the same reason I got the black version of the Wii U, even though I thought the white version looks better because that has more storage, and I was imagining downloading a lot of eShop games.
Why would you do that? Why would you have? You know what? Why would the storage be based on the color? That's weird.
I don't know. Maybe the logic is
Nintendo,
that,
what are you doing?
The white one is for like casuals, like it looks like the Wii, and whereas the black one is for more hardcore people, and the PlayStation and Xbox brands are also black. Also, remember when Nintendo...
Or maybe it was... God, did the black one release like after the white one?
No,
so it's like it's just improved?
The same time, I think. Actually, I don't remember because I got my Wii U in like 2013, which was after, it was a few months after it was released. Though I always forget the Wii U came out in 2012 because it was like at the very end. And then again, the Wii came out like December 2006 as well, so...
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a Wii U apologist, but I actually hadn't really played that many Wii U games. I mainly just used it for the web browser and a bunch of eShop games and like Wind Waker HD. But so I started getting a bunch of Wii U games I hadn't played before, and also rebuying some that I had owned before. So like I play like usually on sometimes on special occasions. I like to play Wii Party U, and I like it a lot. Even if I still prefer the original game's victory jingle.
Admittedly, I mostly used my Wii U for backwards compatibility with Wii games.
And I mainly use my Wii for backwards compatibility with GameCube games.
Yeah. Which is like also very like my main use of it was Wii Fit U back when I exercised.
Yeah,
I should start doing that again. I really should.
I don't think I really played it that much. Other people in my family did, but I didn't.
Remember when that was like the main selling point of the Wii U?
Wii Fit Plus? Or whatever it's called. No, Wii Fit U. No, Wii Fit Plus was a Wii game. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I remember.
So
Yeah, I remember it was either Wii U or it was either Wii Fit U. No, it was both. It was Wii Fit U and the other thing.
You know, I've heard one of the reasons the Wii U didn't sell very well was because people thought it was just an upgrade for the Wii, but I'm not really sure if that's the case, because I remember when the 3DS was new, people would thought that you could just play the 3DS games on a DS in 2D, and then they had to get a 3DS when I found out that's not how it works. But the 3DS did decently.
I mean,
it did better than the GBA.
I mean, the 3D, it did a lot better later in its life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sold pretty poorly early on.
Oh yeah, because there weren't that many
And
games.
it's like...
And then Ocarina of Time 3D came out, and Official Nintendo magazine wouldn't shut up about how it was the second coming of sliced bread, basically.
Ocarina of Time 3D is good. I can't imagine playing Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64.
I had that. I never finished it because I just rage quit at the Spirit Temple after already being very frustrated in the Fire Temple. Anyway, we can't get past that barrier yet, but we can collect these items, so that's fun.
Yeah. I did finish it, but it took me a while.
One day I'd like to get Ocarina of Time 3D again, but I haven't really seen it go like in second-hand game stores, which is where I get the majority of games. Like, have I ever mentioned Kex? Well, I mentioned Kex sometimes on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Discord. Basically, it's a second-hand game store in the UK, and you'll find all sorts of weird stuff there. You can also sell DVDs there, but they give you like literally 1 pence each, so don't bother. But you can buy them as well. So, got some good stuff there, like a Doctor Who, third Doctor Carnival of Monsters DVD, which I watched it and I thought it was alright. I can't really get into classic Doctor Who because it's just a bit too slow and awkward for me. Like, it's shot like a sitcom. It just feels like I'm half expecting to hear a laugh track the whole time. But obviously,
I was never into Doctor Who. I don't know. I think it's too scary for me.
yeah.
Which is like, I realize I'm making myself sound like, you know, I am a wimp.
Yeah, I'm also, and I'm a bit of an uncultured swine who can barely enjoy anything right before the 1980s, which I might have mentioned in the last stream, I can't remember. Like I was talking about, the only thing that I've read in English literature that I enjoyed that was older than 1980 was A Christmas Carol.
Yeah. I get that. Like, I have so much trouble, what was it? Oh yeah, I have so much trouble getting into retro games. It's like people are like, you know, it's so good. It's like, it's not as good as you remember, and it's...
Yeah, I played so many
I can't, like,
games.
I have trouble playing the older Pokemon games.
Oh, I got played some
Oh,
NES
yes,
games
Mad
on
Eye.
my original... Oh yeah, I did Whitey Net game for this, but on my original 3DS, it was I got the Ambassadors thing, so I got some NES games, but I was just really terrible at them as a kid. If I played them now, I'd probably be better, but still. But is it actually true that old games are harder, or is it just because as your video games you get older? Because there's a bit of both. Like, I've heard the reason why a lot of old games were hard was to basically increase the length. That's not as hard.
I mean, I don't think... A lot of them were just harder because video gaming was a lot newer, and games weren't as... Like, I don't think a lot of them were as hard as they were by design. I think there was definitely poor design going on that didn't help.
Well, I saw someone say games had to be hard for technical limitations, which I don't really buy, because Kirby's Adventure was on NES. Granted, I couldn't finish the 3D Classics version because as a kid, because I always ran out of time during the final boss. And then that 3DS was on broke, so I lost a lot of games. And I'm still a bit upset.
Yeah, I can't really play the older Kirby games like pre-Superstar Ultra.
Oh, gosh. I played them. Amazing Mirror was the first one I played, and I admit it's probably not. I've probably said this before, but I don't really think it's that good. Like, it did introduce me to the franchise, and I actually like how the enemies' names are labelled in game because I just like knowing what things are called. But it just feels like the soundtrack's a bit repetitive, and it's just full of really annoying stuff. Like, it's a Metroidvania where it's really easy to lose your abilities. It just feels like a fundamental.
Yeah, it's like it's a cute idea, as if like when you have a Metroidvania, you should be able, like, the point is you backtrack for items.
Yeah.
You get items and then you backtrack to the previous things.
I mean, it does have some nice sprites.
Which, like,
though.
yeah, I think they're too tiny, but they're fine.
Yeah.
But like also like you'd think like I think Metroidvanias could still work with Kirby because not the Great Cave event. Oh, Milky Way Wishes had the whole ability thing where you had to find abilities to use them, and I think that would work fine.
Yeah, Kirby, like, imagine Milky Way Wishes, but it was a full game, maybe?
Yeah, but yeah, Milky Way Wishes, but it was a Metroidvania, so you could. Yeah, that would work. Naming the monster.
Yeah.
God, I'm blanking on all my eye puns.
I'm trying to think, isn't there, like, those flame eye enemies in Kirby? What are they called? This also looks like a Scarfy, so I was thinking about naming it Scarfy.
That's funny. That's funny. I love that.
Okay.
I like that. That's
Scarfy
funny.
from Kirby.
That's cute.
Yeah. See. And this is one of the rare monsters that can learn attacks from 4 elements, so that's cool. And I'm just gonna... Alright, get these all... Oh yeah, but also they added the ability to forget skills that you just learned in an update. How did we live before this? How did we live in the pre-Isabelle days?
I can't imagine.
Okay, if you don't know, the how did we live in the pre-Isabelle days is a phrase I sometimes say to myself when I'm just imagining the conveniences of modern Animal Crossing, like being able to stack fruits, not having to work for Tom Nook at the start, although I suppose New Horizons has a ridiculously long tutorial, so... But whatever.
Yeah, I always find it funny that it's like Tom Nook, like people do the whole like Tom Nook is the leader of the mafia thing, because like no, he's actually really reasonable, honestly.
Yeah.
He's like, that's your mortgage, you're paying your mortgage.
Yeah, and he has a tragic backstory in Wild World where he reveals that an old friend scammed him out of his money, and I've seen theories that was Crazy Red.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a comic about that. I'm not big into Animal Crossing, but I come across it occasionally when I'm browsing the internet.
Because I just get bored of them really quickly. Like, I'll have sessions where I just play them for a while and then I get bored. Like, I fancied them really.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing with me.
Copies of
boring.
Wild World and New Leaf in my life, and I've uninstalled New Horizons from my Switch ages ago because I got it digitally because it was during lockdown.
Yeah, God, lockdown happened and everybody started playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was
like,
funny.
When New Horizons was new, I was thinking that Animal Crossing could probably make a really good MMO. But it also feels like the problem I have in New Horizons is that the kind of like the gameplay they want is fundamentally not suited for the kind of like the Animal Crossing mechanics, because it's like Animal Crossing was originally about getting to know the people in the town. Also, he's got some keys, and here's the statue. We can't do anything about that yet, but I'm going to make a note of it. Anyway, but the whole point of New Horizons is that you get to customize the island however you want. But the problem is that since you're like playing as a character and not as a disembodied cursor, you have to like go through every tile one at a time and customize it, and it gets really tedious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even see why you'd have to, like, they could, like, turn you into a disembodied cursor they could change the mode, and when you're in the when you're in the decorating mode, that you turn into a disembodied cursor.
Oh, it's like when you're decorating your house in New Horizons, you turn into a disembodied cursor, so you can just place all the furniture. I think it's been a while. And also something really stupid.
Like, why wouldn't they do that on terraforming the island?
Something really stupid in New Horizons is that if a villager is crafting a recipe you don't have, you can reject it. But if they were crafting a recipe you do have, you can't. You have to accept it. Like, why? This is the most backwards thing I've ever heard, especially because I didn't have anyone to play it with. Even online.
I remember, what was it? Shit, and I've forgotten. Ah, well. I'll remember it eventually. I'll remember it like 5 years later. Not 5 years later, just 5 hours later.
Okay, if you don't let me, you can mention it on Discord if you do remember what you were going to say. Also, speaking of which, there's a link to my Discord server in the description. Join it if you want to talk to me about things, but if you don't, that's fine too, because I respond to comments usually. Unless I just don't have anything to say, then I don't respond to everything I know.
Apparently there's 2 people watching now, so bless you to the one person who's not me watching this.
Well, I've got it open on my phone as well, but what's weird is that at first it said they would, even when I had it playing on my phone so I could see the chat, it still said I had 0 views for a few seconds, and I'm not sure why, so I don't know if it counts the streamer. Also, I'm probably going to reshuffle this team because a lot of monsters in this place use earth attacks, so maybe I'll replace... Who should I... Maybe I'll bring
honestly, like...
Rad back, but... Maybe I'll try using the Tengu finally. Is this one's weak to water? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, every time I watch you go through like the skill trees, it's just... I just don't like skill trees in RPGs. And it's like, every monster has an individual skill tree? That sounds even worse.
Well, the skill trees aren't very long, so that helps.
And I guess you can. It looks like you can get everything on them as long as you have the prerequisite, instead of being locked into one thing.
Well, there's you can have multiple. You can't have enough points for you to learn every skill, but you can obviously select things from different trees. And don't worry, there are ways to reset it, but we haven't gotten those yet. I don't have anything that boosts mana.
Yeah, it's like I like the way it's done in
Theory?
the Spider-Man games, because you can just get everything on the skill tree. Like, you don't have to like worry about not having enough points. Everything on the skill tree is right there that you can get.
I just realised I should probably have changed more than one monster. Maybe instead of just the monk, I could have maybe I could replace Caterpillar. Oh gosh, or maybe definitely want something with a wind attacks. Not sure if I should use Shovel Knight or... Oh, Mint Arrow is also weak to Earth, so... I suppose there's the Tanuki as well, but that can potentially be... If it uses a wind attack, it becomes weak to Earth, so Shovel Knight it is.
I love that there is just a cat with a sword. That's fun. It reminds me of Battle Cats. Remember Battle Cats?
No.
Yeah, it was this... I think it was a mobile game. I don't know if it's on... Like, it might be on console now, because a lot of those mobile games have gotten console ports for some reason. But, like, it was this... it was like a tower defense game where you had to defeat the enemy's tower by sending all your cats after it while also protecting your own.
Okay then.
Yeah, it was... it was, like... kind of popular back in the day with like middle schoolers and stuff, like, but it was fun.
The name sounded familiar, and then I realised I've heard people use that as a nickname for warrior cats. And by people I mean a YouTuber called Tennille Flowers. So
I remember, God, warrior cats is fun. A while back I had a really long conversation with my friends about warrior cats, just for like the sillies. Mostly making fun of it.
Yeah, I haven't actually really read much of Warrior Cats, but I've just always known about it because it was omnipresent on a lot of forums I used to go on, and now I just sometimes watch YouTubers who talk about it, and there's some graphic novels coming out later this year, and I actually kind of want to read them. Well, some, I mean, a graphic novel adaptation of the first book. I mentioned it on Discord.
I mean, I don't mind. I think I like that there's a graphic novel coming out, because one of the things that bothered me about Warrior Cats is you don't know what, like, there's no official art of a lot of the cats. Which, like, I don't care, but also, like, I just think it would be neat if there was, because I was having that conversation with my friends, and I was looking at the wiki, because there's some really weird shit in Warrior Cats.
Oh yeah, like.
And like none of the characters really had official art, so there was no art or images.
Cats. There's like Jay Feather, who was blind, but he can go into other cats' dreams and also astrally project into the afterlife sometimes. And also, I just walked into a room we can't do anything in yet, so we're going this way instead. It's a puzzle. Looks like we're trapped in a puzzle of sorts. Don't say.
Oh no.
And like Jay Feather.
Oh
like,
no, a puzzle. We're gonna do another the puzzle.
Where he sort of like astrally projects back in time and found the precursor to the clans. And I remember on Discord when I mentioned the Warrior Cats graphic novels, someone like Fabulous Fish said that like he was surprised Warrior Cats was still around, and then I think it was you who said it was the Simpsons of books. Or was it him?
No, that was not me. That was great. I'm forgetting names. Was it Godi?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that?
Fish, because it's a linguistics joke. Basically, it's making fun of English spelling, because it's GH is in. Oh gosh, what's the word? Is in tough. O is in women. And TI is in all the shun words. Also, I can't remember how to do this.
Yeah, so. I'm never going to be able to pronounce that.
Yeah, I still pronounce it as a gabulous goatee in my head as well, don't worry.
I hope I have never on the same stream as them. I'm going to embarrass myself trying to pronounce that. Yeah, that would never happen. Anyway.
For a lot of things. That's what it's called apparently, where you pronounce a word wrong because you've only ever seen it written down and just. I can't remember how to do this puzzle, and I swear I've played this game loads of times. Why am I getting stuck on it all of a sudden? Or maybe I'm supposed to use this one. I can't really. You promise you can't really see which ones affect which. The one. I'm too tired.
Yeah, there was.
Hallelujah! Something happened.
Was it where? But yeah, shout out to the Warrior Cats book. That's that's a spin-off about dogs in a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Oh, Survivors. That's not really a spin-off. I don't think it's just another book by the same hive mind of authors. Like with Seekers, that's something I've read. Well, I've read the first series of it because I could never find the sequels in any bookstores. I don't know how to get that treasure chest right now, so we'll probably come back for it later. And now we can open that shortcut, or backcut as Tessellating Hexagons would call it in his Spyro the Dragon Let's Play.
There's a Warrior Cats, like, a lot of the weirder stuff in Warrior Cats makes sense when you realize most of the authors don't care.
Oh, hello, Ember Shallows in the chat. Yeah, because Warrior Cats just seems very corporate. It's basically a series of books written like a TV show, kind of like how a lot of children's books were written in the 90s, like Animorphs or Goosebumps, which just has like a bajillion relatively short books, but written by, sometimes they were ghost written, but they have to come out on a monthly schedule, except the Warrior Cats books are longer, so it's sort of like the transitional form between Animorphs and Harry Potter, where... Oh, you don't have to... No, I don't mind getting
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Hey.
Are you responding to the chat as well? It's fine if you want to say.
Yeah, I'm responding to the chat. I'm agreeing with you.
If you're busy, that's fine too. Oh, there you are. I was just taking a break to examine the architecture of this place. The Stronghold Dungeon was created as a natural habitat for monsters that prefer to dwell in, well, dungeons. Most monsters are really peculiar about where they want to live. Anyway, the dungeon's library should be in this direction, underneath the sewers of the Stronghold Dungeon. Why would you put a library in, like, the underground dungeon, surrounded by green water of imminent death? I mean, it doesn't actually harm you in this game, but still, it doesn't seem very hygienic, or I think the books would just get wet.
I assume, like... it's a secret library. They're trying to like cover up their history or something.
Oh, Ember Shadow
I don't know the
says
lore of this
I have
game.
a lot of reverb. Maybe I should try turning my
Yeah,
microphone
is that a
bit.
Discord thing?
Oh,
Could be a
not
Discord
really
thing.
sure. I've turned my microphone down a bit. Do I sound fine now? I might do something with my microphone settings in OBS. Let's see. Audio filters. Limiter? Should I just use a limiter, see how that works?
Maybe?
Do I sound okay?
Yeah, last time when I was recording those my lines for You Judge a Book by Its Cover, I remember I remember OBS was fine, but I like this is unrelated and more me thinking tangenting, but OBS was what I originally recorded them in the software I use for editing. I forget the name escapes me. While
Oh,
and
Shadow says it sound better. It might just
but
be echo
it sounded
because
reverb.
I'm not recording this in the soundproof room. We should split up so that we can cover more ground
Oh,
in
yeah.
these labyrinthian corridors. Oh, go ahead, except not really because there's only one direction you're supposed to go in this. But I suppose a labyrinth only has one direction you can go, and whereas a maze has dead ends, and that's the technical difference. And it also has nothing to do with labyrinthodonts, which are prehistoric animals with very complicated teeth. People would build them amphibians, but they're technically not true amphibians. But I don't know if you'd like to hear paleo babble.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ember Shells wants to hear it. I'm fine with you doing that. I like listening to people info dump about their interests.
Yeah.
I just also won't understand anything you're saying.
I do too, but like the Cliff Notes version is, from what I can gather, is that a lot of animals from the Paleozoic, so that's before dinosaurs, that people would call amphibians, are actually just as closely related to modern amphibians as they are to reptiles and mammals. Reptiles and mammals collectively make up a group called amniotes, and basically salamanders are like the default appearance for tetrapods, which are land vertebrates with 4 limbs, except when they don't, like snakes. Streamdigo, you just missed it. There was this champion monster. It looked so menacing with its champion aura, and it just kept staring at me. And I don't know what came over me, but I just walked over it and challenged it to a fight. And you know what? I actually beat it. I'm so proud of my monsters. Pixar, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Just as I was about to continue, another champion appeared, just like the first one. Also, Ember, I'm glad you let me know of my audio issues, because once I did a live stream where I had my microphone muted in OBS, and I didn't realise it until like a few hours later, when I was just lying in bed. I was like, oh gosh, did I make some really big mistake in that stream? And it turns out I did, so I unlisted it because it was so embarrassing. It was a Sims 4 building stream with Dimitri the writer, who I haven't spoken to in a while, or at least not on like voice chat. I think I've seen him on the off-grid server a few times, but anyway. But just as I was about to continue, another champion appeared, just like the first one. Well, and then you came. Also, I'm just going to take a drink quickly. Sparkling water.
Understandable.
Well, and then you came. So I think you can take up care of this one. Go on, I'll watch from over here. And this is...
I see where they're trying to go with this character arc. I don't think they're doing a moderately good job at it.
This is Beetaloid, and unfortunately I only have 2 monsters with earth attacks, which I didn't really realise until now, but I'm sure this will be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's fine.
The thing I like about poison is there's a ridiculous amount of damage to monsters that are weak to it. Let's see what the description says. It's based on the max alpha, as burn damage is based on their highest attacking stat. And usually, and this is one of those, in a lot of RPGs you have an absurdly high health HP stat, and this is no exception.
I mean, I love poison attacks. I love when I poison an enemy and it just takes damage constantly.
Meanwhile, like in Pokemon, like burn lowers attack, and then there's 2 different versions of poison. But then in Gen 9, or was it 8, they changed it to burn halves the power of physical moves instead, which I know because I used to play on Pokemon Showdown a lot, and they show you like all the modifiers that apply to move power and stats and stuff like that. Also, bye Ember.
Yeah, bye, Ember.
And then in Temtem, I don't think there's any actual difference between burn and poison, and I haven't played Temtem in a while, so... Temtem's alright, it's very pretty, it's got, like, it has some very interesting mechanics, but it's also kind of tedious and very grindy, and then fandom exploded because developers said that they didn't want to add much new content to the game that wasn't just cosmetic because it would just take too long to program, which I think is fair, but they didn't. Well, also people were complaining because they kept, like, they had to, like, kept getting rid of stuff, but honestly, it's really hard for me to get angry about anything. But I do get frustrated quickly, like when the bus is late or my computer isn't working. Anyway, we've raised rank for the first time. Kind of like in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but not. Good job! I don't know why I said
I have the same thing where I obviously, you know, I'm the guy who likes things. I don't get angry at games much.
Yeah.
Like, it took me forever to finally get fed up with Game Freak. And, like, God, even then, it's like, I'm probably going to get the new one, because it looks good.
Honestly, main series Pokemon games are kind of exhausting to talk about, because you've got, like, before they're released, you've always got people like, oh no, this looks terrible, Game Freak are rushing everything, why, you can't see it, but I'm finding people typing on keyboards, and like, oh, this other franchise is going to completely dominate it. Like, and this has been going on for years. Like, I remember seeing people on Bulbagarden saying Pokemon was failing because of Yokai Watch, and I don't think Yokai Watch is even popular anymore. At least not. It might be still in Japan. I don't know. I don't know what Japanese kids like. Good job. I admire your strategies, and I find your choice of monster equipment pretty interesting. Also, what are Level 5 doing now? Are they making another Lady Layton, Professor Layton, what's the 8th Star Wars movie called again? The Last Jedi? The joke is that since like
I mean, there is a new Layton that's coming out. Like, they announced it a while ago, but they haven't like released any trailers, I don't think. I don't really keep up with Layton.
Didn't Level 5 release a new IP a few years ago? Have I just made that up? Look at that!
Let me check! Using my internet.
Door. The key is probably in another part. Oh my gosh, I just realised there was another shortcut door which I could have unlocked, but I didn't, so I can just sequence break through this. That's amazing. So there you go.
Layton...
But, like,
oh god, Layton versus Ace Attorney was back in 2012.
I like to call Layton's Mystery Journey Professor Layton The Force Awakens, because like they did the same thing in Star Wars. We've got the original trilogy, and then 3 prequels, and then a sequel. And this time it stars a girl. Ew, I don't want girls in my video games. They have cutie.
I mean, there is in fact a Yokai Watch 4 and a spin-off that haven't been released in the US. That sucks.
Honestly, I don't really see as much like sexism in the gaming community as I used to. I mean, I still don't really go on like really gamer bro-y circles like r/gaming anymore. But like, maybe it's just because of what I look at. But like, people don't throw a hissy fit over games having female protagonists anymore. Maybe it's because
I mean, I'll admit I might be in a bit of an echo chamber myself, but
the only game I've played games I've played lately which have exclusively female protagonists are Lena's Inception and the Slime Rancher series, which are both indie games that are unlikely to get much attention, especially since Slime Rancher is more of a cozy-ish, casual-ish game. Lena's Inception I definitely wouldn't call casual, but it's still quite obscure. Also, I haven't played. I was also considering like doing I asked my viewers if I could stream this or Lena's Inception. And honestly, Lena's Inception is a lot shorter, so I feel like if I was doing it at the same schedule, I would have finished it by now. Except I would have also planned to do multiple playthroughs because it's a game with multiple endings. So.
Alright, those are fun. Those are fun sometimes, actually.
Honestly,
depends on.
The way I can describe Lena's Inception is that it was what if Undertale was a parody of Zelda instead of Earthbound, or based on, because it's not really a parody of Earthbound, but Lena's Inception is definitely a parody of Zelda.
Yeah, God, I have complex feelings on Undertale because I get what it was going for, but also like the thing it like parodies is like it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, riffing on, gamers like indiscriminately killing monsters and stuff, but it's like, you know, at the same time, it's like, sometimes you just need to do that.
Yeah, I
Sometimes you just...
heard of Undertale from Lucky70x because they did the Let's Play on it, but I never finished watching it because I got bored. And like, obviously I know most of it now because I've watched a bunch of like game theory, like Gaijin Goomba did loads of videos about it. Unfortunately, most of them have been unlisted now, but they existed. Like, he did a lot of like videos about how it was based on the Irish mythology, like the whole concept of the monsters living underground was like those hills that fairies live underneath, and Undine is an Undine, the Alphys or whatever her name is a drake, which is like a kind of wingless dragon that likes extreme climates. The goat people are pukas. I can't remember what else. I don't remember if he had anything to say about sounds. He's like, seems to be the part of Undertale that people remember the best nowadays.
Yeah, everyone remembers Sans.
Yeah. I still like sometimes see YouTube.
I don't.
Sans
I mean, I do,
theme in
obviously,
unrelated
since I see him everywhere.
videos that aren't about Undertale, and it took me a while to realise that's what it was because I knew it sounded familiar. I just couldn't really place it. Like I think the Unlucky Tug uses it a lot, and Super Emporium I think used it in his review of the Simpsons game, which came out yesterday. No, not Simpsons game. Simpsons Hit and Run, which came out yesterday. But yeah, I watched the whole thing. It's over 2 hours long. Well, I didn't watch the credits, but he had some really like interesting tangents about like the history of people's opinions on the Simpsons, which I thought I kind of liked. Because I haven't watched the Simpsons in a long time. Oh, I didn't name the Toxicus. Oh well, we can do that later. We haven't unlocked the ability to name monsters yet, but we will soon, and if I'm doing this on schedule, then it should probably be in the next episode.
Yay!
Okay. I don't think I used Toxicus yet, but maybe my mind will change, who knows. Anyway, we've got another Keeper Jewel coming up soon. Oh, so many useless books. Where is that book of history? That strange person wears the same kind of clothes as the alchemist we saw in the Blue Caves. I sense that this person didn't come here with good intentions. What makes you say that? Is it the fact that he's monologuing to himself? We might have to fight his team of monsters to apprehend him, because just like in Pokemon, jewels solve everyone's problems. In that case, the same rules apply as for regular Keeper Jewels, except there's more on the line than usual. Oh, what a surprise, a keeper of monsters. Hey, that wouldn't happen to be a spectral familiar, would it? What if I am a spectral familiar? How marvellous! Not only a keeper of monsters, but a keeper of a spectral familiar as well. Oh my! This one seems really strange. I have a bad feeling. What is this, Star Wars?
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I didn't expect the library to be this big. I don't think I've ever watched a Star Wars movie in full. I mean, I kind of half paid attention to the Phantom Menace once while making fun of it with some other people. Mainly just complaining about that weird CGI scene where the droids just shoot lasers at force fields and it's set in the Windows XP Bliss background. That's what it looked like anyway. You know, the hill. When I was a kid I called it Teletubby Hill. I didn't expect the library to be this big, and the books are in pretty good quality too. But wait, that's another one of the alchemists! Oh, what a blessed day! We came in search of old books, and instead we found two keepers of spectral familiars. We? What is that supposed to mean? Hey, Valar! Valalar, la 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 la. What's happening in here? Are we having a party? And why does he look like a clown? Not as such, Chimes, even though there might be calls for celebrations very soon. Yeah, I see. Two spectral keepers, huh? The master will be quite pleased with us. Ha 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 ha! I don't know how to do laughing on cue. These two are both really creepy. We should be careful. I should get a soundbite of Smudge's laugh. Hey, what do you people want?
I think I could do a laugh. Let me try and do a laugh for a moment. Ah, how's that?
All right. That's good. It gives us a surprise advantage.
I think that was good.
You take care of the other one, Valala. I want this one. Honestly, you kind of reminded me of Ganon's laugh on the Game Over screen in Zelda 2. which I kind of it's been on my mind because I've been listening to the Mind Electric by Miracle Musical a lot recently, and
I'll take that as a compliment.
The YouTube upload, someone said that it has a laugh, a sound effect. It has a sound that sounds like that in it. And, you know, I like the Mind Electric. It's a very weird song. It's got lots of like very high pitch shifted voices and weird distortions, but it's interesting. And I know about it because a YouTuber I watch uses it in her intro. And don't worry, the rights holders don't seem to be very trigger happy with copyright. I've worn my voice out.
I mean, yeah, who gives a fuck about a 5-second clip of someone laughing?
Looks like it's time to fight. We shouldn't lose this one, or else. But don't worry, if we do lose, we just get sent back to the start of the room. And oh gosh, my team is on the level.
Why is this cutscene so long? I feel like you could cut out a lot of dialogue. Like a lot of it's unnecessary.
What do you mean is unnecessary then?
I think they reiterate several times. Like they're very like, oh, how wonderful! We found 2 keepers with spectral familiars like 5 times.
Oh yeah, it's like I've told you about this. I might mention it in a previous episode because I don't really watch Fresh Fruits that much. But like in like one Pokemon mission in the game, the explorers were in that cutscene where the partner is telling Dustin about dimensional scream, and then they say like they call the player character my partner multiple times, and then they just in like immediately afterwards there's a description sound effect description box that refers to the player character with a third person gendered pronoun. So why did they have to go for such length to write around gender? It just feels really clunky and probably flowed better in Japanese.
Oh, that's easy. It's gay.
Basically in Japanese.
I joke, but the fandom definitely interpreted it that way, and you know what? I'm fine with that. You are in a relationship.
But anyway, I was trying to say that in Japanese you don't need the subject of a sentence, so there probably wasn't as much repetition. Although a lot of the dialogue in Pokemon is honestly very clunky. But then again, I mainly thought that during my phase, like, I'm a big girl, I critically analyse the things I liked as a kid because I'm grown up. And like, just feels like someone.
I mean, to be fair, like it is important to be somewhat critical of the things you like. Just.
But also, sometimes it reaches a point where you're just coming up with criticisms for the sake of it.
Yeah, you don't want to reach that point. Yeah. And I mean, like, also just like I find it often better just not to engage. Like, I'll analyze it critically and then not tell anybody about how I analyzed it because I just don't feel like starting an argument. Well, that's not entirely true. I'll do character analysis and plot analysis, but I won't do like, ah, yes, here's a list of flaws, because I just don't feel like that.
Yeah. No, honestly, I find it really hard to dislike media. Like, if I play a game on Steam that I don't like, usually I'll install that and maybe get a refund if I can actually do that in time, which is very common.
Like, I guess if you're a reviewer, I can understand. You have to state your opinion. But also, I mean, most professional reviewers aren't good at their jobs. Honestly, I understand.
Couldn't get past the
yeah, that's funny. Well, I understand why their reviews aren't very good, because, like, a lot of them, they're playing this is a job for them, and that automatically makes it, like, kind of miserable. Like, reviewers who do, like, YouTube stuff because they think they find it fun, like, if they're doing it for fun, it's a lot more fun to play the games. They're reviewing it because they have a passion and they like the games. Meanwhile, the reviewers who do it professionally for like IGN, they're doing this because they were made to. They don't even really get to choose the games they play, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like you hate platformers, but they make you play a platformer. Like, you're gonna give it a bad review even if it's a good game.
Yeah, and I also like, I used to do reviews, but then I realised I don't really have much to say about a lot of things just to use Scrum reports, so that's why I do stuff like do Judge It By Its Cover, where I just talk about lots of different
Yeah, I obviously have lots of thoughts given how long my sections were for that.
Although honestly, like the currently the piece of media I have the most like well-formed opinions on is Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell. I talked about it on Discord a lot lately, and I made the TV tropes page for it.
I remember making. I used to make a lot of TV shows page for media that didn't have it that I liked.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't do that as much
3
anymore
times
because.
This month. I also did it for Fae Farm and Grow Song with the Evertree. Anyway, we got a reward for this. Humph! Looks like I was getting ahead of myself. I won't be so careless next time. Okay, his voice has changed. Oh, but looks like Chimes was more successful than me. Perhaps there could be a celebration after all. So that was like he's turning into James from Pokemon. Or James the Red Engine, either works. Enjoy your books! We have something more valuable than this whole library. Gosh, now I'm just reminded of Kid Icarus's review of the Thomas game on PS1 where he's playing, like, he uses the voice clips of James from Pokemon introducing himself in Team Rocket's motto.
Yeah.
I read out this line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Anyway. Bye then. It was very slowly not clear in the brain. That was odd. We should go check on Will. Also, we can't do anything about this gap yet, but we will much later on.
I wonder how will Will react. Will he have less self-confidence now? And his whole arc will be about, getting better and getting his self-confidence back. God, he's just Wally, but worse.
How could this happen? How could they do this? What did you do? I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that. I've never heard about something like this happening. I think something really wrong happened, you don't say. His monsters were just too powerful. I lost against him, but I don't understand what happened afterwards. It just makes no sense, no matter how many times I go over it in my head. My familiar is gone. It has just disappeared after I lost the battle. My own father gave me my familiar. I have brought shame on my entire family. We understand your sorrow, Will, but your familiar can't be gone forever.
I must capture the Avatar to regain my honor!
You must what, the Avatar?
I must capture the Avatar to regain my honor!
I'm guessing you haven't seen Avatar The Last Airbender. I've only seen a couple of episodes of that. Nothing can really harm us. Toad will be fine, I promise you that, or I can promise you that. Also, if anyone wants to hear my opinions on Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell, I can let you know in the comments, but if in the comments, either the stream chat or the actual post video comments, I can give you some more in-depth things.
Or you can join our Discord!
But basically my general thoughts is that it's like, I picked it up because it had some really glowing reviews, and honestly I really like it. It's got like a really vivid description of a fantasy world, and for once the male protagonist of this fantasy adventure story isn't a passive plank of wood. The Dark Crystal Phoenix by SF said in the Last Wild trilogy. All of us familiars have been alive for longer than we can even remember. You're right. Thank you. And don't forget that we came here for a reason. We can't let it be in vain because of this loss. Yes, the library. That's something at least, isn't it? Maybe it's not so bad. Whatever happened, I have to find a way to reverse it. We will find it together. Haha, get it because his name's Will. If they attack one of us, they attack all of us. Right, Stream to go? Well, I'm the silent protagonist, so I can't answer. Thank you, that is good to know, but I know my strengths and research is what I'm best at. Honestly, dialogue in this game feels kind of awkward because it's just because of the way the visual style is just characters standing around talking. They don't even have like unique expression portraits like in Gazette Beasts or something. So I'll be sifting through these books if it's alright with you. It will give me time to think. Meet me back at the regular library.
Yeah, it feels like.
Later. Also, why are you
Yeah, because there's like no movement really besides them bobbing up and down. It does feel like they don't have much personality.
I hope that he'll be alright.
You can see where they're trying to go with Will's personality, but he doesn't feel like a person.
It must be devastating for him. He doesn't even have a mouth. Well, I suppose none of humans have mouths. It's like Okami, but not. But it is really concerning that they're able to do this sort of thing. I am less worried about us familiars and more worried about the Sanctuary itself. Who knows what the alchemists are planning? We should meet up with Will at the library to keep a stronghold later. Well, good luck with that because he's right here right now. Anyway, we'll make our way back to the stronghold although actually not stronghold. Actually, it's a stronghold. I can words, but we have to make a quick.
I don't know why, but the alchemists give me Team Galactic vibes.
Oh well, that's actually surprisingly fitting, but I don't want to spoil this game.
Yeah, it's like the guys monologuing like, oh, this is just like that scene in Platinum where Cyrus monologues in front of that statue to nobody in particular.
Or like, I was thinking what you're going to mention that scene in Platinum. Is that when he's in front of the Team Rocket people? No, the Team Rocket, no, the Team, all those bajillion Team Galactic members in that base. Also, we've
Oh, there's a scene earlier on, back before, I think you've even encountered...
Oh,
no, you've encountered Galactic at that point.
Is it
but,
in front of the Dialga
like,
/Palkia statue?
Yeah, it's in front of the Dialga and Palkia statue.
Kid, I always
The
interpreted the statue
Dialga, if you will.
So I got a bit confused when like it was the same in Platinum because I didn't realise you could also see it as Palkia because of the perspective. And then they just kind of made it look really weird in the remake.
Yeah. It's like, it humorously actually makes a lot of sense retroactively if you play Legends Arceus. I have a lot of respect for Legends Arceus because after playing Platinum, it's like, they really did pay attention to the lore they established in Platinum, and they don't really contradict each other, which is like not something I was expecting.
They both think like how the different tribes think that Dialga or Palkia is God, and they call it the Almighty Sinnoh.
Yeah.
Which is Japanese for mysterious, by the way. So
yeah, exactly, it makes sense that they've got a combined statue because when you because nobody, like, they find out later that there is just one god, but they don't know what it looks like. So why not? So the logical thing, like that, or it's like an older statue, like, who knows? Because there was also a civilization before them. And that's a whole thing that I'm not sure I can explain properly because I'm bad at explaining things.
Okay.
Pokemon lore is
the
surprisingly deep.
Like when at first I just thought the Celestica was supposed to be like the collectively the Diamond and Pearl tribes, but it's not. It's the weird emo Cynthia.
Yeah, because there's the Celestic ruins that are already there when you're playing Legends Arceus.
Oh, I spent so much time wandering around those as a kid. Anyway, this is our first multi-hit move that we can unlock. So, and by multi-hit I mean hits multiple targets, not hits multiple times. Most moves in the game do that, or attacks rather. We use the terminology.
That's fun. I like having attacks that just hit everything.
Yeah. Usually they have
at
lower
once.
power, but I don't think it has like moves that have like multi-target hitting moves. That multi-target moves inherently have a damage reduction like in Pokemon because it's all multiple battles. Most RPGs, like even Pokemon-inspired ones, usually have multiple combatants on each side. Like Zet Beast and Temtem are all double battles. This is all triple battles. Not sure about any others though.
Oh yeah, I was playing like Slay the Spire, and like multi-hit moves were my best friend.
Slay the Spire. What's Slay the Spire?
Yeah. It's a game where you kind of go up a spire and you kill monsters. I'm not sure if there's really much of a plot.
Oh, is that the Game Boy inspired
it's popular.
Or am I thinking of something else?
And there's a second one coming out that everybody seems excited for. That like, I only played it because it happened to be on Apple Arcade.
Oh,
I haven't played it in a while.
I thought
It's okay.
there was a cutscene here, but I suppose that comes later. So we'll just make our way back to the Stronghold for now.
And apparently you can talk to this guy.
Yeah, but I didn't.
But you've already talked to him.
Yeah. Anyway, next time in this series, we'll be going to the ancient woods to the east of the keepers of the Stronghold dungeon. Until next time, stay interesting, and you chose a bad time to come, Catches, because the stream
you chose a bad time to get here, Catches. Sorry. Bye.